So the weekend numbers have come in, and unsurprisingly, Weapons is once again on top, slaying all the new competition after being dethroned briefly by K-pop Demon Hunters, which is a smash hit, and it was available for limited release outside of Netflix. And I'm pretty sure if this was still in theaters, this would still be #1. But with all that being said, Weapons is just doing amazing at the box office. It's currently made $232 million worldwide, and the overall budget was around $38 million. If you include marketing and profit sharing and everything, it probably needed to make anywhere from $80 to $90 million to break even, but it's definitely a profitable movie, and who knows how much further this can go and how many other movies that they'll make on this in the future. So this is a really good surprise sleeper hit, but I kind of wish K-pop Demon Hunters was still there, because I kind of feel this would make a ton more money if it was still in theaters. However, if you wanted to see it, obviously it's available on Netflix. So with all of that being said, how did the new competition fare? Well, not great. The first one we had is The Roses, which is a remake of the older movie The War of the Roses, and that's based upon a book, and it made around 15 million worldwide. And then the second one was Caught Stealing, which made around 13 million worldwide. So definitely not anywhere near the box office numbers or box office hit that they were hoping for. And I'm pretty sure these are going to be money losers when it comes to their theaters. But the one that is most interesting to me is the one that I honestly did not know was released, and I really haven't paid much attention to it at all. And that is, of course, The Toxic Avenger Unrated 2025. This is a reboot of the original Toxic Avenger back in 1984. Now, I remember seeing this. This is from Troma Studios, written by Joe Ritter and Troma founder Lloyd Kaufman. It was directed by Michael Hertz and Lloyd Kaufman. This is just one of those really cheesy B-movie action sci-fi. It just had everything, and I did enjoy it. I really liked the first one, and there were multiple movies in the series. There's Toxic Avenger Part 2, there's Part 3, Citizen Toxie, and then there was also an animated series as well, Toxic Crusaders, plus there was multiple merchandise surrounding it. So Toxic Avenger really made Troma Studios, and well, it's basically had a place in history as the B movie, and I honestly still remember it to this day. And then we now have the remake. Now this one stars Peter Dinklage along with Kevin Bacon and Elijah Wood, and it is basically a retelling of the original Toxic Avenger, but just a little bit different, because the original was this guy named Melvin. He actually worked as a janitor at this chemical plant, and then he turns into a Toxic Avenger. Whereas this one, Peter Dinklage plays somebody who does work in a drug company, but he is a father. He's trying to be a good father, and then he has a lot of trouble at work, and he runs into an accident very similar to Melvin, and then he becomes the Toxic Avenger. So the story is very similar, although not exactly the same. And there's definitely some hardcore Toxic Avenger Troma fans here. It says it's the last effing superhero movie of the summer. And from everything that I've seen from the reviews, this is exactly the type of movie that people were looking for who were fans of this. It's ultra violent, ultra cheesy, and a lot of people would agree that this lives up to the Toxic Avenger lore, and it's giving people what they want. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do well in the box office, just considering the initial numbers, and maybe it'll do better outside of it. And it's kind of amazing to believe there's 50 years Troma Studios has been around. So yeah, whenever this comes out on streaming, I'll probably definitely check this out. It is getting good reviews from the hardcore fans, but unfortunately, in terms of the mainstream audience and stuff, they're just not maybe seeing it, or maybe they might not just be interested in or know anything about the Toxic Avenger. But if it is in your area, or maybe you'll check it out later in streaming, I think it's going to be one of those movies that kind of flies under the radar, but it's going to be probably a beloved classic, very similar to the original series of movies and other shows. So if you actually had any thoughts on this or any other movies that you've enjoyed, be sure to leave in the comments area below. and I'll see you on another episode.